Welcome to our latest episode here on ARES TV. It has been a while since our last appearance, and we do have plenty of news concerning the ARES Fighting Championship. But as always, if you aren't up to date with this, then it means you haven't subscribed to our social media handles, which you should do. The address is at ARES Fighting, which you can find also on YouTube. But let's get back to today's show. We have the pleasure of welcoming a fighter who has started their career with a bang, described as the rising star of South African MMA, recently signed to ARES Fighting Championship, but yet to make her debut. She is known as Mad Dog. Let's say hello to Amanda Lino. Hey, Amanda, how you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Well, Amanda, let's get straight to it. As I mentioned in my intro, you are, of course, yet to make your debut with ARES Fighting. You, of course, were meant to have a rematch with Rizlen Zouak, which was postponed due to COVID. We'll get to that a little bit later. But first, let me ask you, why leave the EFC, where you were bantamweight champion, to join ARES?
I haven't actually left the EFC. I'm currently still, fighting for them. It's just a matter of when I can get back to South Africa and fight. I have signed to ARES, which I'm super excited about. Looking forward to this next fight. I'm not sure what's happening with the South African MMA at the moment. With everything going on, there's a lot of uncertainty. So we're just going to take it step by step. But at the moment, I'm focusing on the upcoming fight, and I just, really looking forward to fighting for ARES and putting on a show for the fans coming in December.
How much did ARES's ethos play into your decision as well to join the promotion? It wants to promote the sport of MMA on the African continent, but also give and create opportunities for African fighters, and ultimately also try to grow women's fighting. Did that play a part in your decision?
Oh, definitely. And I think the great thing about ARES being, a fairly new promotion is that they got to kind of do the research on other promotions and what they lacked. ARES is a promotion that is really focused on their female athletes, and that's something that's really important for myself, being a female athlete and coming from a country where it was really small for us starting off, and it still is fairly small. So that played a huge part in me, wanting to be a part of ARES. And, like I said, they really focused on highlighting their female fighters and really making a future for us. So that definitely played a massive part in signing. And I'm just looking forward to growing with a new promotion and, also just giving the best shows that they can possibly have on. And I mean, if you have a look at, I know that it was cancelled, but the fight card that was coming up, and you just have a look at all the current athletes signing, it's amazing to see the amount of talent in the promotion itself already. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think they definitely picked, I wouldn't say, how do I make this sound? They picked athletes that possibly haven't got that chance to really shine, but they're fantastic athletes, and they've taken those and they're going to give them the opportunity to really showcase their talents. So I think they've really gone about creating, a promotion and cards that are going to be really exciting and showcasing athletes that possibly wouldn't have got the chance to, but are going to be huge for the sport coming up. So, I'm looking forward to be a part of it.
It's true that our sporting director, Fernand Lopez, said that one of the focuses is to put on a show. Did you actually get a chance to watch ARES 1 in Dakar, Senegal? What did you think about that as, our first ever event?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Just the promotion itself, how it was held, was really, really good. I think all the marketing behind it, I think, they've really hit the nail on the head when it comes to every aspect of the promotion itself. The marketing, how it was promoted, just how the show looked. So I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, it looked, from what I saw on the first ARES, it just looked like a great promotion to be a part of. And, that again also really played a part in how I was intrigued by it and came about to sign.
You just mentioned, Amanda, as well, the really important aspect to you personally, which was the female part of it, the women's fighters part of it. We spoke to Rizlen Zouak a few weeks ago, and she said that, she wants to try and grow the sport. Do you see yourself as that kind of person as well, sort of a pioneer for the sport? When we're seeing more and more women getting involved, those taboos, those shackles being kind of taken away from the sport. Do you see yourself as part of this bigger movement?
Definitely, with myself being one of the first two females to sign as a professional in South Africa, I definitely see myself being a pioneer. I was the first EFC Flyweight title holder and the Bantamweight title holder. So I've always played a part in being a part of the history and creating an opportunity for the next female athlete coming up. So it's, and that's why I stayed in South Africa to begin with, was purely just to grow the sport as much as I could, make awareness of it. And, I hope to keep curating history and giving those who don't really see MMA as a career option. Because I believe that many countries. I actually had a girl that was training with us. She started training with me on Monday, and she's from a fairly small country. Don't ask me which one because there's a lot of countries that are unfamiliar with names. Um, but she mentioned that she had to move to Holland also because there was just no emphasis on female athletes and there was no opportunity for her. So that's very much a big focus of me in my career, and it shows what I've done in South Africa and had done in Africa. It was purely just to create an opportunity for those coming up, and I continue, and I believe that I want to continue to do that. Throughout my career, giving opportunity and making South African athletes believe that not only do we have the opportunity in Africa to be a champion or to make a career, but you can also branch out and go, sign with great promotions like ARES and make a further career for yourself and really make a living out of it. So yeah, definitely something that I want to continue to do.
Well, let's get back to ARES, Amanda. Let's talk Rizlen Zouak. When you signed for the promotion, there was a clear motivation, obviously, by the sporting direction to organize this rematch between both fighters. For anyone who doesn't know, of course, you beat Rizlen in the EFC. You had to move up a weight category to do so. What are your expectations as regards to that challenge when it comes up?
Well, the great thing about it that the first time around, it was a really, really exciting fight. Even myself, when I watched it over, I was on the edge of my seats. We had people crying in the crowds. It was one of those fights where it was so much fun to watch and just it really, really drew you in. And I believe that this fight is going to be 10 times better. We both have grown as athletes, and as you will fall into, more skills and better yourself as an athlete. So I believe this is going to be a really, really great fight. A lot of people have questioned why I've taken on this fight, because I've obviously beaten her and I want to move forward. But I believe that everyone is evolving as an athlete, and we're not going to be the same athletes. I'm not going to be the same athlete coming into the cage when she sees me. So, I definitely believe that she's not either. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think the first time around, it was a super exciting fight. Probably one of the best fights or the most enjoyable fights I've had. So, and I believe this one's going to be even better and more exciting. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. Also coming off loss, I think I have a lot more determination and a lot more hunger. So I'm looking to really come in and put on a massive show. So very excited about it.
I've got to say, we watched the fight as well, and we were out of breath just, watching it, never mind being actually in it. And I think it was, unanimously agreed, one of the best fights that's ever been across the board in the women's sport, of course. Before and after the fight, bit of provocation on both sides between, both camps, as you would. Rizlen did take issue with some of the comments made by you and your team in regards to conditioning and perhaps a motivation. Does that add a little bit of spice to the rematch?
Oh, definitely. There's always going to be a little bit of banter and, that build up to a fight. That's part of it. It is one of those things. I think there was a lot thrown around from her side, my side, and there is going to be more to come. There's already been shots fired, so look forward to it. There's going to be a lot more said, and there's going to be a lot more from her side, just because she's got that. She is coming from her first loss, so I think she's gonna want to mentally get into my head, and I'm prepared for it. So I'm ready for the banter. Let's put on a show, and like I said, it's part of the game. At the end of the day, we're athletes. We're going to go in there, and the best person's going to win. So
it's quite curious, Amanda, because Rizlen, when you guys fight, if it does happen in December, hopefully with the COVID situation, well, it'll be over 2 years that she's not fought. It'll be almost, if not more than a year that you haven't fought. Do you go into that with a little bit of apprehension, like, oh my God, I'm back in the ARES arena, like, what, how's it going to go? Or is it just pure excitement, pure motivation, pure drive?
See, now this is the problem I've been facing, and as female athletes, we face this because beforehand, it wasn't really about the situation with the COVID. It was really about being able to get fights and put fights on. So we used to having those long breaks in between. However, it does affect your as an athlete. And that's why I actually made my move to the Netherlands, purely just to put myself in a situation where I can go to different gyms, I can really move around and put myself almost in that, like, in the fight mode. So I'm really putting myself up against fighters that I've never fought, training partners, so that I'm almost getting that feel of being in the cage and really, feeling out your opponent as if you were fighting. So that's really why I moved over here, to just put myself or out of my comfort zone, fights against a lot of people, because it does affect you. If you and I think it's going to be slightly different now, because I believe that the promotion, when it's on, it obviously won't be massive crowds. We're going to have a slightly different setup to that we used to. So I think that will be a lot better. It's really going to be the authentic fighting arena, which I'm looking forward to, because I enjoy that. Really old school, like small crowds. You just feel that the fighting spirit, if that makes sense. But I definitely do think it plays a part, and I think we need to take that into consideration, and I can. And I've definitely done that. I've moved to the Netherlands. I'm going to face as many new training partners as possible, just so that I get that feel of being in a fight. Because unfortunately, not only was it due to, having small amounts of female athletes, but now it's with the COVID. We've obviously been inactive for a while. So we've also got to take that into consideration. It does affect you. So, you've got to put it into your plan and just, roll with the punches, I say.
You've just mentioned it, Amanda. You've moved to the Netherlands from South Africa, a long way from home. That was part of the professional motivations. How's it impacted your personal life as well? Being far away from your family and so on.
It definitely has impacted my personal life when it comes to, my family. But, I'm really, really blessed to have a family within my coaching team. My coach lives here with his family, and they basically become my family. Like, I've pretty much adopted 2 sisters and a new mom and dad. So, I'm really blessed to have a really strong foundation. Rodney van der Vlucht is not only my coach, but he's pretty much, a father figure and a best friend to me. So his wife plays a huge part in our training as well. We do a lot of running together, a lot of physical stuff. Even Shannon, she has the beauty project, which we do a lot of training on together. So, and then Kian's just, she's a lot younger, so she's not in it as much, but she's just there supporting me, being family. So I'm really blessed to have adopted a new family and be able to live with them here. So I've really got that foundation, which I think is super important, just to have people around you that love you and care about you and want to push you to be greater. So I'm lucky to still have my coach, and that was also a huge thing moving to the Netherlands. Is I obviously have a good bond with my coach, and we've come a long way, and I believe this is just the beginning of our journey. So I wanted to stay with him. I think that bond between your coach and a fighter is really important to how you progress. We're obviously adding different training aspects into it being in the Netherlands, so we have the opportunity to train with other coaches and other athletes. But just having that strong foundation, I think, is very important.
A new journey for you personally, Amanda, and a new journey as well with ARES. And on behalf of everyone here, we'd like to say formally and officially welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much to Amanda Lino for taking part in this interview with us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media and on YouTube at ARES Fighting. Follow Amanda as well for any latest news on her personally. We'll be back soon with more fighters and more news. But for now, bye-bye.